Julie, we know the Trump administration has been pushing to remove non-U.S. citizens from the country. What's the latest behind this move?
Well, this move could help them accomplish two goals. One is being able to boost those overall numbers of deportations. President Trump got close to Obama's deportation record last year. They want to supersede that this year. This could be another way of focusing on a large group. Some estimates are that there are about 200,000 people in this group, though that remains to be seen. The other is that they have been really going after what they call visa fraud.
Interesting that, these guys love saying, well, why don't they come in legally? And then they cut a legal avenue for coming in. Almost feels like this is about something entirely different. I don't know. I don't know. They're always like, oh, why don't they come in legally? And then they turn around and revoke the visas of people who are here legally. Because that's what a visa is. That's what temporary protected status is as well. There's no reason to do this other than to satiate the appetite of the most violent, most right-wing racist losers in this country. Most Americans don't feel this way. Most Americans are not demanding this. As a matter of fact, they are leaning against this pretty aggressively, and they're still doing it. Trump Vance officials are gloating about arresting the fathers of a sailor who was deployed on the USS Lincoln for this stupid, unnecessary war. DHS could have said nothing, or they could have issued a generic say nothing statement. Instead, they made it a point to humiliate a member of the United States military and his family because they absolutely relish suffering. These people are sadistic freaks who get off on inflicting pain. Being able to publicly salt the wound of someone who put his life on the line for this administration made their day. I do not understand how anyone could support the GOP. This is just plain open evil. A U.S. Navy sailor said he learned his father was arrested by immigration officials while on his 9th month aboard the USS Lincoln. DHS confirmed the arrest, saying having family members in the military is not a free pass to violate our nation's laws.
Heartbreaking. That is how a U.S. Navy sailor is describing his father's arrest by federal immigration officials. In a post on Facebook this weekend, Joshua Avila said that he learned while on board the USS Abraham Lincoln that his dad had been detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. That is, of course, that aircraft carrier that has been deployed in the Middle East for months and that has been at the center of reports of substandard conditions and also mental health challenges faced by the service members there. Joshua Aviles wrote, "If you know my dad, you know he is a hardworking, humble man who is always willing to help anyone if he can." He added, "This is heartbreaking for me. I don't know how I can mentally continue working 12-hour days knowing that my dad is somewhere, possibly being treated like a criminal." We contacted the Department of Homeland Security about the arrest, and the agency did confirm that the sailor's father...
I'm actually surprised. This guy does really good reporting on immigration stuff at CBS. I'm shocked that he's still a part of the team.
Father, Luis Manuel Aviles Roa, is in ICE custody facing deportation proceedings. The department said that the man was arrested by Border Patrol during a vehicle stop in Key West, Florida, on suspicions that he's in the country illegally without proper documents. The department did not dispute, importantly, claims by the family that the man lacks any criminal record, but said in that statement that, quote, "having a family member in the military is not a free pass to violate our nation's laws."
How do you suspect that from a person without profiling? It is profiling. It's also legal. Shouts out to Brett Kavanaugh. It's called a Kavanaugh stop. You can just stop whoever you want for racist reasons. And often that is the only reason why people get stopped all the time.
They said that obtaining a visa in order to get asylum is a fraud. Now, that's their subjective interpretation. It is perfectly legal, or it has been perfectly legal, to come into the United States under a visa, whether that be an immigrant visa or a non-immigrant visa like these, and then to tell the United States government that you're afraid of going back to your home. It's entering the country legally and then stating that fear. And immigrants, wherever they are in the process, whether they're about to be deported or they're here on legal status, have been able to make that claim. Because asylum is something you do when you're in the country, not when you're outside of the country. That would be filing for refugee status. This would be another way to try to stop more people from claiming asylum. Already, it's illegal to claim asylum when you're crossing the border illegally or even legally if you present yourself at a port of entry at the border. That was something the president put in place on day one. This would make it so that those who fly in legally, go through the process, and are here and then try to adjust their status in order to get asylum and stay longer would also be revoked simply for asking for asylum, even if they are currently on a legal visa.
What happens to the 200,000 people who could then lose their visas?
Well, at this point, they could try to do away with their asylum claims if they've made that claim. They are, many of them, legally still here on those visas.
Here's the real truth about this all as well. The overwhelming majority of people that ICE actually apprehends with no criminal charges against them whatsoever, they are literally following the pre-established rules. The unfortunate reality for them, many of them asylum seekers, or many of them that are apprehended at their court hearings, is that your status as a documented non-citizen versus an undocumented non-citizen is entirely in the hands of the government. They can just decide overnight, as they do all the time, you're no longer documented. It's that simple. It's just a matter of paperwork. And I stress this all the time. The difference between a documented and undocumented non-citizen is whether the government believes that you're allowed to stay on U.S. soil or not. I guess that also means that amnesty is that simple as well. It's a simple process. So that's the other side of the story. What can be broken can be fixed with ease as well. So just remember that.